In a bold move that could reshape the landscape of Android app distribution, Google has announced that starting next year, it will prohibit the sideloading of unverified Android applications. This means that only those apps that have been verified will be allowed to be installed on certified Android devices. To clarify, virtually every device running on the Android operating system that includes Google services falls under this certification. However, if your device operates on a non-Google version of Android, this new policy will not apply to you. Fortunately, such devices represent a very small segment of the Android market, particularly outside of China. Google is set to initiate testing of this new verification system with early access beginning in October of this year. By March 2026, all developers will have the opportunity to access the new console to obtain verification for their apps. Following this, in September 2026, Google plans to roll out this feature in countries such as Brazil, Indonesia, Singapore, and Thailand. While the timelines for a global rollout remain somewhat unclear, Google is aiming for 2027 to implement these verification requirements worldwide. This initiative marks a significant turning point for the Android ecosystem. It comes at a time when the ongoing antitrust lawsuit against Google, spearheaded by Epic Games, could compel the company to make substantial changes to its Google Play Store in the near future. Recently, Google faced a setback when it lost an appeal regarding the verdict of this case. Although the company intends to take the matter to the US Supreme Court, it will still need to begin modifying its app distribution practices unless further legal developments intervene. Among the court's directives is the requirement for Google to allow the distribution of third-party app stores and to permit the rehosting of Play Store content on alternative platforms. This could potentially enhance user choice, which is a primary goal of Epic and other developers. However, it's important to note that apps sourced from third-party platforms may not benefit from the same level of system integration and security that the Play Store provides. This means that users who choose to sideload apps from these sources will be doing so without the protective measures that Google typically offers. The extent of the security risks associated with this change is still up for debate. On one hand, it is understandable that Google would be concerned. A significant number of malware threats targeting Android devices originate from third-party app repositories. On the other hand, enforcing a strict installation whitelist across nearly all Android devices could be seen as overly restrictive. This requirement means that developers must meet Google's criteria before their apps can be installed by users, which may inadvertently allow Google to maintain a level of control as the app market begins to open up. While the current verification requirements may seem minimal, there is no assurance that they will remain unchanged in the future. At present, the available documentation does not clarify what will occur if the user attempts to install an app that has not been verified, nor does it explain how devices will verify the status of an app. It is likely that Google will distribute this whitelist through Play services as the implementation date approaches. We have reached out for further information on this matter and will provide updates as they become available. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this move by Google a necessary step towards enhancing security, or is it a strategic maneuver to tighten its grip on the app market? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe that this verification process will ultimately benefit users, or do you see it as a potential overreach by Google? Your opinions matter.